We're back with the Opie and Anthony Show. The One virus spreading across America. Oh, my God. You have no idea what's going on during the commercial break. Jim Belushi in studio. We're all huge fans, by the way, Jim.
Well, thanks.
And Jim walks in. He congratulates Ant and I on our success with the radio show. Then looks at Jim Norton and goes, "You're the guy from Lucky Louie." You have no idea how happy that makes Jimmy.
I just groan because I cannot stand when celebrities come in here and know Jimmy. It just upsets me.
Oh, man, he was hysterical on that show. That show was hysterical.
Well, thank you. What's wrong with men of similar ilk discussing things?
Yeah.
Similar ilk.
You and Paul R. Nelson are two of the men in my life.
I'm Paul R. Nelson.
You've been such a relief in my life.
Marine, hockey dad, and a Lucky Louie watcher.
That's a dirty little show.
Jimmy, how happy are you?
That feels good, man. I'm really happy.
Feels good, right?
Yeah, of course.
I think you're downplaying a little bit because,
Well,
this stuff makes you happy.
That show was just, it was a great show because it was a sitcom with, like, real people talking and real issues. And a live audience. I mean, my sitcom, according to Jim, is live audience, same thing, except for we really got to watch what we say,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of hockey dads watching our show.
Paul R. Nelson might be watching.
Paul R. Nelson, I'm
right
here
down.
to tell you, Jim Belushi, according to Jim, I support that campaign.
It's nice, clean entertainment.
As a congressman, I will make sure that everybody watches according to Jim in syndication.
Do you see when the wedding was going on? Anyone object? I do.
Yeah.
I object. I'm a soccer father.
That was Ron.
Ron Kind objected to traditional marriage.
Ron Kind.
Hey, he's wrong kind.
Oh.
He's wrong.
Well, they put a W.
Start writing the spots for him, wrong?
No,
they
I
did.
wish I could take credit. That's what they're actually saying.
Oh, they are
The
saying
graphic on the screen actually shows Ron Kind's name, and then they put a small W and a small G at the beginning and end of Ron. This guy is trying so hard. And apparently Ron Kind is a 4-term incumbent.
Yeah.
And this new guy, Hockey Dad's trying to wheel in there on this.
Do you have any idea how he's doing with the numbers?
He doesn't even have political ads because it's like he has no competition.
It's just in the bag.
But this guy, Paul R. Nelson, is like, he's giving it a shot.
Publicity stuff could work, Publicity works. You never know, man.
He's really attacking this other guy. It's great. We're really enjoying this. The most vicious race I've ever heard.
We love the fact that the ads have gotten worse and worse, and there's nothing about what these guys are for anymore. At least they used to say, like, I want to do this, that, and my opponent is a scumbag. That's fine. But at least you kind of hinted to what your agenda is. There's not a clue what these guys are about.
I have no idea what they think.
It's just bashing.
It's Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the...
That's a good state, too. I don't understand where this guy popped up.
Race for the coveted state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's a cool state. I mean,
Fighting for the hockey dads.
Yeah. I'm a cheesehead, and I need your vote.
Oh, that's right. Well, Wisconsin does have the Green Bay Packers. That's
yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
They really are creeps.
Oh, the Packers.
How about the Bears? What are we? What are we? Like I'm a Bears fan. I gotta admit, I'm a Jets fan, but the Bears are what, 6-0?
6-0, man. Did you see that show? The show. I call it a show because it was a damn show. That Monday Night Football game against Arizona. Man, that was. I haven't yelled that loud in like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, they're romping,
screaming at that show. Show.
Is that the one? Is that the one? There's supposed to be audio of who's the Cardinals coach? Dennis Green.
Right.
Of him freaking out because the Cardinals blew that game?
Oh, they really blew that game. They lost that game big time. And Dallas Green had a press conference where he was pissed off. And, I agreed with him. He was right to be pissed off.
He gets some great sound bites going, Dennis Green.
Oh, he was great. We knew the game they're going to play. We knew the game they're going to... We knew the game they were going to play.
I'm going to have to pull some of those.
By the way, you're being heard in Chicago. We're on WCKG in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love Chicago. I'm going
You're being heard by maybe 100 people right now.
Those 100 people
working
are
on it.
Good Chicago people on the way to work.
We just started up in Chicago.
Well, congratulations.
CKG is it's way down here. We're trying to lift
You're going to bring them up.
We're trying, Jim.
That's what they bring us on for.
Well, Chicago has a great history of terrific radio stations, too. So
they love their own. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They love their own. So you got to work
That's why
a
I
little harder.
said we.
That's right. I'm going to make believe I live right next to the radio station.
One day we'll have to study a map and just blurt out highways and towns.
Let's do that.
94.
Like that. There you go.
You're on I-94 right now, driving into work. We want to say hi to everyone on 94.
There you go.
The parents are doing very well.
Jim just made it local for us.
There you go.
I'm too stupid. I just know a couple of things about Chicago.
Mike Haggerty.
I'm hanging out with Mike Haggerty outside that garage from the Steve McQueen movie where the car backed out of it.
Yeah, right. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember the movie, but I'm sure they're all.
No, but we all know those landmarks. We know where the Blues Brothers was shot in Chicago, where Steve McQueen, Thomas Horn, his car went off the Marina Towers into the Chicago River. We know all those little spots. You know?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, that was great.
That's right where the House of Blues is now.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Right where the Steve
Marina
McQueen
Tower, yeah. There's two towers, Marina Towers, built in the 60s, and they took a car up to the top parking lot, and they drove it off. It was actually that movie, Thomas Horn was being shot at the same time the Blues Brothers were being shot, so it was a big deal.
Were you performing back then?
I was in Second City.
So you were doing Second City while he was doing SNL?
No, Blues Brothers, though.
Okay.
SNL, when he was doing SNL, I was finishing college, and I was on the road doing something. And I went to Second City in 76, and Saturday Night Live started in 75.
Little foggy, thinking back.
It's a little foggy this morning, is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm on L.A. time, so I'm 5 in the morning
that's
for me.
brutal.
Second City puts out a lot of funny people, man. John Candy, right? Wasn't he Second City?
Oh, yeah, Candy.
He's Canada, right?
Canada, the Canadian one, sure. Marty Short, who's on Broadway right now. It's a great show, by the way.
Yeah.
He's from the Second City. It's a great deal. Bill Murray, Gilda Radner, all the great Saturday Night Live people. Do
you remember an actor, this is completely off the subject, that no one else remembers? He's a black guy. He was in 48 Hours. He was in Used Cars, named Frank McRae.
No.
No one remembers him. I'm obsessed with Frank.
I remember Frank.
Why are you obsessed with Frank?
He was always yelling and obsessed.
He just screams.
Yeah.
He was Eddie Murphy's sergeant in 48 Hours.
Oh, okay.
The big black guy berating him and screaming at him. No?
That one's going right by me.
All right.
I'm still on Paul R. Nelson, so.
Who isn't?
We could talk about him all morning.
And we will.
We certainly will.
Love to hate that guy.
No, but Chicago has a great tradition of radio, but also of comedy because of Second City. And my son, actually, I'm going today. Going back to Chicago, he has a play called This Is My Youth. It's opening at the Pine Box Theater. Opened up last week. Got great reviews. Awesome. So I'm really excited to go back to Chicago and see him. It's a great place for a young actor to get his chops. You know?
Another generation of Belushi.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that started Second City? I did a read with Chaz Palminteri called it. I wasn't auditioning. It was a read my friend got me, and I was so bad. I was atrocious because I was nervous because it was Chaz. And the other guy in the room was handing out Second City books. And it turns out it was the guy that started, I believe, Second City, if that's who it is, if he's still living.
Handing out books?
Should that be the worst description of anything I've
ever heard? I don't think the guy started Second City with handing out books.
No. He had copies of the Second City book.
Yeah.
And he was just giving them to us. We were in this read with 20 people. He had them there. No. It was like a gift for everyone.
Did he go back to his box on the
great
sidewalk?
Guys like Paul Sills you're talking about?
That might be it. I don't remember.
Paul Sills is great.
He could have named any name, and I would have said that might be it.
Yeah.
Jackass.
Mike Haggerty?
Yeah,
Mike Haggerty.
Absolutely. God, am I a fool?
You were talking about cons just before we came back from break.
Oh, my cousin was a.
I want to get into that a little bit.
He's a good con. He was a great con artist. We were talking about that House of Games with Joe Mantegna, and when I watched that movie, it was like, oh, that's my cousin. He taught me a couple cons. One was called. You could only do it a long time ago with the airlines. You can't do it anymore because of security and everything. But before, when it was looser on the airlines, you could. It was called putting a friend on a plane. You would buy a ticket in your name in cash. You know, you would go down to the gate and you'd give the ticket to your friend and he would go on to the plane. And they used to rip the ticket off and they'd have the receipt and they'd stack it in a little pile. And then as soon as they shut the door, the FAA regulation says you can't open a door unless it's an emergency, right? As soon as they shut the airline door, you come running down the hall, screaming, wait a minute, I got to get on a plane, I got off to make a phone call. You've got to open the door, They go, oh, sorry, Mr. Belushi, can't open the door right now. Oh, I need to get to Chicago. I need to get there. Well, do you have a pass? No, I'd left it on a plane, but my name's right there. Here, check the receipts. They go through and they see your name. And they say, well, can we rebook you? No, just give me my ticket. So you take it. You cash it in, you get your money, your friends on the plane.
That's awesome.
That's just one of them.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, now
Can't do that one, no.
you watch old movies and you see things that happen at airports, and they're not that old either. But they just walk right up to the gate with that "Goodbye, darling."
Yeah.
Hello, they're kissing at the gate. That's
Yeah.
it. Walk right into the plane.
Those are
now
the
you
old
can't
days.
get within. Yeah,
You can't get in within a mile.
you can't
now.
get it. You got to say goodbye at the house.
Yeah.
You can't even drive. You can't even get in the car they're driving to the airport in.
I'm sorry, we can't let you on the street right now. Well, R. Nelson is
Going to the
coming through,
airport.
and we got security.
We've been doing a lot of flying because of the job lately, and we were just talking about going into the restroom. We unfortunately were booked on a pretty old airline, and we're on an old plane, and they had a place to dispose of razors.
Oh, that's an old plane.
Yeah, it is. And they had ashtrays.
Oh, I love
still
the
have
ashtrays, too.
ashtrays and a place to dispose of your razors because, you get to go in the bathroom and shave. Can you imagine?
And I used to shave a lot. Now I can't shave
yeah,
on the plane
you can't
anymore.
shave on the plane.
In Wisconsin, when you fly, though.
You go back to
Yeah.
your seat and you're scared for the rest of the flight. You're like, how old is this
A
plane?
whites only sign over bulkhead.
The fact that they used to let people smoke on a plane is
I
beyond
was
me.
thinking about that because I used
Beyond
to smoke
me.
like a furnace on the plane.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially going to Europe or something. Yeah, I mean, just pack that plane full of smoke.
And I could have two friends in a car on any given weekend. After a couple of drinks, my back seat would catch on fire from some idiot like flicking his ashes, and
Right.
all of a sudden, what's burning? Ah, pull over! The seat's on fire. Now you got an entire plane full of drunken idiots.
Yeah, right.
How did more planes didn't just burst into flames and
Really?
plummet
Yeah.
with people allowed to just smoke anywhere?
Well, they still let you smoke pot in the bathroom.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's
You just can't
cool.
smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. And shave, on some of the planes.
And they never say it's illegal. They just say disabling the smoke detector is illegal.
I don't
Not
get that.
setting it off.
I'm looking at it just trying to disable the damn thing.
You can disable that.
Here's how our friend would do it. Rich Voss, the comic, and what he would do, it was just pretty. He's a dummy, but it was a pretty brilliant idea. He took like a bathing cap and he would put it over the alarm, and then smoke real
That's
quick in the
good.
bathroom. And then the
Jeopardize
smoke
everyone's lives.
Wouldn't hit the alarm.
What I used to do is when you press the drain,
Yeah.
that air would go.
Oh, yeah.
I used to sit in that bowl,
Put your head in the
bent
toilet.
over the bowl, going, holding the cigarette down with a bowl.
Please tell me you were famous at the time.
I was famous at the
right.
time, absolutely.
That's awesome.
People go, see you walk in and you're flushing every 2 seconds. Wow, he must have ate something really bad.
Don't eat the shrimp in first class.
Terrible, man. Well, addicted to that nicotine, man. That's the worst drug of them all.
Are you still smoking?
No, I quit about 8-9 years ago now. I went on the gum for about 3 years, and then I went on the patch to get off the gum.
Wow, you're addicted to the gum?
It was very good, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's straight stuff.
Yeah.
It's straight nicotine. You don't have to go through all the smoke to get to the drug.
I've talked to people that, they get addicted to the gum. Gives you a nice little tingle.
Tingle, gives you a rush, makes you feel good. It's like Vicodin.
It tastes like pepper, though. There's always I could never chew the patch is how I finally quit, but I could never chew the gum. That feeling that inhale.
I know, but the thing about the gum was it was like a pack of cigarettes because you could pull it out of your pocket, you can open it, you literally it's like packing a cigarette and you put it in your mouth. All the physical and the oral. Gratification.
Yeah.
I would love to smoke right now as we're saying this. I've been quitting.
Well, you know what? I went
Still
back.
get
I smoke one cigar a week now.
Yeah.
Cigars for some
After
reason.
the show, we film the show. I sit down and have a cigar. And
Well,
light beer.
we got Jimmy to quit cold turkey.
Yeah, I did the patch. I had to quit.
Because of a radio bit we were doing. Yeah.
Yeah, we have people in.
big sacrifices for comedy, my friend.
Well, we had a
Can't
bid.
smoke in clubs
It was
anymore,
supposed
so-
to be comedy.
Yeah.
It was called what the hell is that?
What the hell is that? So basically, we got a couple doctors, and then people from our audience would come in with whatever they had.
Anyone off the street would say, "Come on up if you got something you want checked out." We got 2 doctors.
Right.
And
Check
we
it
had a
out.
third guy who
right
probably
now,
wasn't
man. I
a
wish we had a
doctor.
doctor in here.
We had a third guy who we think was just like kind of BSing. He wasn't really a doctor.
Yeah, he
was
just
like
wanted to hope.
dopes.
He was hoping some attractive girl would come in with a gynecological problem.
He had a
Got
white
any
coat.
stirrups?
I like that guy.
Yeah.
So we had guys like one guy, he would only sweat on half his face when he ate spicy food.
Yeah, so we
most
got a bunch
bizarre
of chicken
things.
wings, hot wings, and he would sweat completely down the middle of his face on one side.
And, and that turned out to be a serious
Some
neurological
type of neurological problem that he had to have checked out.
Yeah.
And other people with things wrong with their legs and stuff. But one guy said, I got this growth on my gum, one of my gums. And doctor went in there, put the gloves on, and he's feeling around. He's kind of looking up. You know, they do that when they're feeling around. And then he looks at us, and his eyes got real wide, and he kind of went, like he mouthed, uh-oh. And we're like, okay, what's going on?
One doctor tapped out. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And the other guy gave us the big C.
The other guy, like, you know how you do the YMCA? You do YMCA. He did the C to us.
Oh, no.
And we're like, uh-oh.
That's terrible.
And
boy.
all the laughs turned to tears.
Yeah, it was like
that.
that's
And
terrible.
Jimmy describes what he saw in the guy's eyes.
Well, what got me was the way when he knew that there was something wrong, and they're like, we just suggest you go get checked. You know how doctors will never just say
Right.
it's like,
Oh, there's a specialist I know. Right.
yeah, go get checked. But he knew what they were telling him. And he was like, all right, where do I go? What should I do? I was watching this
panic,
guy
yeah.
trying to hold on to his sanity. Like, he was panicking, and he was trying not to panic. And I'm like, that is what it finds. That's exactly what it looks like when someone tells you that you have cancer in the mouth. That's what happens. That stupid, simple
And it was too
interaction.
close right there. And right then and there, Jimmy was like,
That's
boom.
when I'm done.
One little window of clarity. So I had one more. I was going to smoke my pack, and then Anthony just berated me. He's like, just throw him out.
Throw it away.
So I
How long did you quit for?
And then the guy didn't have cancer. He called back a month later.
Yeah, it has a happy ending.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can go back now.
Yeah.
Now you can smoke, of course.
Oh, now this is a happy ending.
I mean,
Smoke. I threw out my condoms. How long is it according to Jim on the air? You've been on the air for a while.
We're shooting our sixth season.
Wow.
We're in syndication. We started this fall. We're on 5 nights a week all over the country, and in Chicago on WGN. If you're driving
That's
on
right.
I-94,
Oh, yeah, WGN.
yeah, WGN.
Sure.
You got to be on for 5 years for syndication? Is that the way you want to
They'd like to have like 80 to 100 shows, and we're up to about 140. So
Nice.
yeah, it's a great stack of comedy, man. And we had to do a clip show, and trying to find the best clips. You know, over 125 shows, it was like impossible. It was like we realized, man, we've done a lot of comedy. It's like you guys, you've done hours and hours and hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Every
stack
day.
of comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the great news is that we get to show it again and again and again, and it's doing very well. And here in WPIX in New York, it's doing very well. And
Right.
syndication money, too. That's the way to go. Once you get into
man.
syndication, you're set for 30
Gold.
the money is always great, but as an actor, you know, it's the work, and it's a pile of work, and it's been a great 6 years of work, and keep me really satisfied creatively, and you know, as an artist, and
That's awesome.
and also at home. So it's cool.
You had to crawl out from under the shadow of your brother years ago. It was always, it's Jim Belushi. Yeah, John's brother.
I didn't know that.
No, you did. You absolutely did.
Jerks would say that
There was,
except for you.
But there were.
You and Paul R. Nelson.
I never said it.
You were
I
under the
heard
shadow
it.
of Paul R. Nelson.
There
That's
was
what it is.
it's actually it would just be very hard for anybody to come out of such a strong personality as your brother and then come out and do that. Obviously, you had a career going for yourself, but there was always that comparison. At least people I talk, no one said it to you. No one's ever. You never heard an
No, this is the
inkling
first
of that.
time. This is the first time.
Because I'm now throwing out the compliment.
I love
that
seeing you uncomfortable, Anthony.
You've completely overcome that where I don't even hear it anymore. It's not like one of those things that you hear anymore.
See, this had a happy ending, Jim.
He's going to punch me.
Another one. I thought
Now he's
going to
gonna
big like.
No.
You know who gave me that question?
I'm Paul R. Nelson.
Paul R. Nelson.
Nelson.
Jesus Christ, I'm in a hole. Help me out here.
When you
gotta help me out here, Hendry.
You
were
badly.
squirming, man.
When you have a very famous, legendary older brother. I mean, it was your older brother, right?
Yes.
And you know what I mean, especially with he dies the way it's a very hard thing to you know what I mean, because he was already famous by the time you came up. It's just a difficult thing to all of a sudden break out and go, no, I'm a different person, same last name, and you certainly have done.
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult being a performer, an actor. in general. So to have a famous brother is, John wasn't just like famous, you know. It's not like the Quaid brothers or Murray brothers or something. I mean, John was like huge.
He was an icon.
I was a fan.
Yeah,
I looked at him as separate from me, just like you guys did. And for what we do, he was the man.
Worldwide, man.
I mean, for us, for actors and comedians,
Comedy.
he was like, he did Second City, he did Saturday Night Live, he did those movies. And so I've always felt kind of separate from it, just like another actor trying to move along. But he was just such an incredible talent that I think the shadow went over all of us. To try to reach that kind of standard,
Yeah.
Well, so it was difficult in the sense that it's just like I don't think about it, but you think about it
all the time.
So the only time it's difficult is like when other people, go into it. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, so I got to go into it.
Yeah.
Maybe I just think of it in terms of if, God forbid, anything ever happened to me, my brother trying to do radio, and.
See, now it's heavy. We're getting heavy again. Let me check your gums for a second.
We have to take a break. Do we have you for a little longer?
Sure,
or you gotta
whatever
go?
you want, man. I'm enjoying this.
Really?
Yeah,
you want to hang out for a little bit?
Sure, whatever you want.
We got Sharon Osbourne.
Snide comments I made.
Oh, I don't want to hold her up.
No, she's not here yet.
She's not here.
Oh.
We can do a few more minutes with you because we got to talk about your book.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
It's Real Men Don't Apologize by Jim Belushi. We'll get into that a little bit after the break. It's the ONA virus spreading across America. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Very busy day. We got Jim Belushi in studio. We're going to talk about his new book, Real Men Don't Apologize. Sharon Osbourne just arrived. We got John Mayer on the hotline. We got football picks to do, sponsored by Dish Network. More football for you, better TV for all. Call 1-888-GET-DISH. Jim, can you do my picks real fast? I don't even care.
Go, babe, go.
Jets, Browns.
Browns.
Oh,
They
you're
need
killing
it.
me.
They need it.
You're
They
killing
need
me.
it. They need it. They need it.
But we're being hurt in Cleveland, so you're making Cleveland happy today. Cardinals, Packers.
Well, Packers will take the Cardinals.
All right. How about Ravens or the Saints?
I'm going with the Saints, man.
Very good. Houston Texans or the Titans?
That's your pick. Go.
Texans.
No.
I don't care.
That's your pick.
And then the Jaguars or the Eagles?
Well, I got to pull for the Eagles.
All right, there you go. Very smart.
Yeah, I got to pull for the Eagles.
All of Philly is listening to you right now.
Hey, I hit them all.
A big hi to everyone listening to us on YSP.
YSP.
There you go. All right. The book, Real Men Don't Apologize.
Yes.
We got to get the plug in here. What's that about?
It's a very funny book about the differences between men and women. Just some good jokes and actually some great insights on relationships, that we try to use on According to Jim. Mm-hmm. It's really kind of an extension of According to Jim, except for a little dirtier.
Yeah.
Not Lucky Louie dirty, but,
Well, Lucky Louie dirty apparently wasn't good because you're still on the air and we're not. According to Jim Clean,
big mistake.
Better than Lucky Louie dirty.
Big mistake, I'm telling you.
Critics hated our guts.
Really?
You. Yeah, they hated us, dude. That's
what do critics know, man?
I know.
They should have brought it back.
Should have brought it back.
And I'd love to say I don't read reviews, but I read every one like a little fat-necked frog. I was just perusing every newspaper.
I don't read any of them.
You really don't want to hear it?
I don't read them because they just don't make a difference anymore.
But did you read them in the beginning? I think everyone that gets
when I was in the
theater,
it's a big deal. A review in the theater is a big deal because that sells tickets in the theater. I don't think reviews sell viewers on TV or film anymore.
You're right.
I still think it does in theater. I mean, especially here in New York. And a plug for my son's play in Chicago. He got great reviews, so that ought to do well. But
what play is it?
It's called This Is Our Youth. But
you don't think a critic could smash a film these days? Critics can kind of. I think they have more influence over films than TV. Like I don't think they have
more
any
influence over film and TV because you're still spending money.
Yeah.
But for the majority of people that go to movies, they go because they want to go. Mm-hmm. They go because they want to take a date, or it looks cute, or she's cute, or that's a cool story, or look at that clip. I mean, those clips mean more to the viewer than the articles, because after a while, these guys have been writing reviews for so long, And the critics that we read now have been doing it for years and years. They get isolated more and more in a vacuum. And they really lose touch with, I think, what's going on in America.
They're just awful.
So I thought it was great to have Kevin Smith sitting in for Ebert.
Yeah.
Ebert and Roper.
Ebert is probably the single best critic in America. Because the one thing about Ebert is that he still loves movies.
Chicago's own.
Yes.
Of course.
He loves...
Needless to say, Opie.
He loves
We're
film.
watching you, Chicago.
He loves his job. He doesn't want to do anything else but that. Other critics always feel like they don't like their job. They'd rather have been doing something else.
Been an actor.
Something. There's always this kind of sense of this mean bitterness.
That's how it is with the sports columnists. You read these the columns, especially in the New York papers, and you want to call these guys up and go, "Why are you even watching sports at this point? You hate everything about it."
Well, that's the other thing is you don't read anything that you read or watch on TV that's positive. You change the channel because we're just a dramatic society now. We just want the drama. We want the negative stuff, and that's what feeds. So I don't read. I don't read those great.
Hey, we got to jump in here. John Mayer, he's calling us from Dubai.
Dubai.
How are you?
John, we got Jim Belushi in studio.
Hello, sir.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you? What are you doing in Dubai?
I'm good. Well, we flew out here to do one gig. And,
one gig.
One gig.
One gig.
Show
Is it corporate?
It seems to be kind of almost, well, I guess there's a promoter out here who kind of makes Dubai a new place to go play shows. So.
Hey, is that where Michael Jackson is?
I know that's where he kind of took off to, yeah.
Okay. Tiger Woods goes there to play in a tournament every year now.
Is that the one?
It's blown up like Vegas.
Is that the one?
Dubai.
Like an island off of India, that one?
They're building. It's one of these places where they just don't take the actual. They don't take Mother Nature. They don't take. They just go against it, and they're actually dumping sand in the water and trying to build land.
Make it bigger. Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Oh, I've heard about that. We've actually I do the Blues Brothers with Danny. We had an offer to go over there. That's a long flight, though, huh?
Must be.
Well, you know, the only thing about traveling worldwide that's cool is that it was a 5-hour flight because we came from London, so we're kind of just splitting it up. You know?
Oh, that's cool.
No, that's not bad.
How was your tour, man, with Sheryl Crow?
It was great. It was really great. You know, I mean, Cheryl and I are kind of similar because we get this rap as being kind of like soft rock, soccer mom kind of stuff, but...
Hockey dad.
What's that?
Nothing.
Hockey dad is a
callback.
Political ad.
Hockey dad, right.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, she's pretty badass. I mean, she's more rock than most bands with guys in it. You know?
Oh, yeah, she's cool, man. She really does rock.
No, she's cool, and she's she can out party most guys. I'll tell you that.
When are you coming back, man? Because it's really great at the Comedy Cellar when John comes in. It's like all the chicks are never chicks under 400 pounds are never around the comedian's table, except when he's sitting there. All these hot young girls will come over, and he's like a team player. He'll always try to pass them off to his friends. John's a good boy.
Yeah, what a guy.
Yeah,
There you go.
Well, thank you. You know, I don't know if that's on the books for me anymore. I had some time off. But for me, it's like I get such little time off that's not music related that I almost purposely choose something as different as possible. And I've always wanted to do the stand-up thing. I'm not very good at it at all. But for me, the moment I stood on stage was kind of the goal because most people always talk about doing stand-up and don't actually get up there. So I kind of felt good.
So you have like a routine? You have like 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
No, I just love getting my ass kicked. I love thinking that I have 15 minutes and having 4, and one of those are
Yeah, he just goes up there and kind of goes with it.
He was funny though because he was kind of like belligerent to the wants of the audience, which I loved. It was more like just doing the stuff he wanted to do, some racial stuff, some relationship stuff, whatever it was, but just not caring if the audience went with it or not. Which I love that. Just
Well, thank you.
And you're not doing the comedy because the CD's doing very well there, John.
No, it's doing
extremely well.
The weird thing is the CD comes. This is the way it always works. The CD comes out, and you think you're going to be around to get a sense of what's going on, and then you leave the country. So I've been out of the country for, almost a month now. So not a month, 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, so they're burning your CDs in stadiums.
Yeah.
Horrible thing. Wow, you've been away.
Yeah, they're piling them up.
Jeez, something happened.
John, 2 words. Jessica Simpson. What can you tell us?
What can I tell you?
We need to know. Come on.
All right.
We feel like we know you a little bit. Give us something. Give us something.
I'd like you. Well, how do I tell you more without telling you anything? Let me figure that. No, I mean, the bottom line is that my fans don't. I'm really concerned that my fans don't ever feel like they've lost me because 3rd record in, start to get used to some things, that's always a time when my favorite artists kind of go south and they do something completely ridiculous, and I go, oh, there we go. Let's start looking in the new releases again and find something cool to listen to. So my thing is that I don't ever want anyone to think that I'm manipulating them or changing the way I always do things, because the way I always do things has been exactly the same. It's just it kind of went down the way you read it. You know, it was like, you know, whatever I.
He is saying a lot without saying it.
Wow.
I'm
did a
reading,
very
but
good
I'm
job
reading
of that,
between the
man.
lines there.
Yeah.
He banged Jessica Simpson. It was great, but he wants his fans to think that he dates ugly girls.
All right.
Wow, is that what you pulled out of that?
Yeah. Anyone else?
Pretty good, John. That was
God
pretty
damn.
good.
Jim?
Okay, all right.
I got that. I think there's a song coming out of that rap that he just gave us.
Yeah, he's going to write a hit song.
It's called Everything But.
Sweet Girl, Crazy World. How about that?
All right, that's a good title.
Well,
Sweet Girl, Crazy World.
is she? Do you think she kind of has an affection for you? Because there's a lovely photo of you. That's not a bad rumor to have floating around.
Yeah,
whether
man,
it's true or not.
I would be
I
running
know.
with that rumor, no
I
problem.
know, you almost feel like releasing a press release saying, please give me privacy in this troubling time of beautiful women. And, I mean, everything is, the bottom line is everything is cool, you know? I mean, my only thing is, for me to have the maximum effect as a musician, I don't want everyone to know everything about me.
Yeah, but
you know what I
between
mean?
you and Dane Cook, one of you guys got some of that.
One of you guys has to.
And we need to know which one. Because that's our
I'll
world.
tell you what, if you can get Dane Cook on the line,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. No, the Sweet Girl, Crazy. I mean, that world is really
he ain't talking.
funny. Crazy.
Jimmy ain't talking.
He won't tell us.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
All right.
Come on, he has a right to protect the girl.
So, all right, John. John's saying hi from Dubai.
Continuum is really great, dude.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Hey, good luck with the gig there, man. Let me know how it works out, because we've been invited to go.
Yeah, really fast, John. What kind of gig in Dubai?
Well, they've
Like
done
a
this thing
casino
of-
gig, right?
But I mean, who are you playing to? Like the Sheik's kids or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're just trying to really, just like everything else in the country, they're trying to just get things started. So
Yeah.
I think they've got an artist from each continent, and they're doing some really big festivals tonight. And I think they're almost kind of aware that it's not that heavily attended, but they're just trying to get it started. So
Well, the Middle East doesn't really have a reputation for fun party. You know, they're letting loose. And everybody's having a
a lot
fig.
of prayer in between songs.
Yeah.
Right.
they monitor everything over here. So I just want to tell you that Dubai is great.
Yeah, there you go.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Yeah, no, I've heard it's a lovely place. And, and you're not Jewish. All right, take care.
All right, John, we got to fly. We're real busy today. Please call us and let us know how the gig went.
Thanks, you guys. I will.
All right.
Take care, John.
See you, bro.
Okay, Jim.
John Mayer, live from Dubai. Dubai.
He's cool, man.
Yeah, John's cool. We've had him on the show. He's friends with Jim Norton.
Yep.
They see each other from time to time.
don't know if
All
I'd
right, we
take
got to
that
get
to
Sharon
Dubai gig.
Osbourne in here. Jim,
Gentlemen,
it's been a pleasure.
I
Please
wanna
come back
thank
and
you.
see us.
thank you very much for your time. I really enjoyed being on the show today.
It's called
Thanks, man.
Real Men Don't Apologize.
Right.
I guess it's in stores now, right?
It's in stores, it's online, and according to Jim, is on 5 nights a week. And
Yeah, continued success with that, man.
Thank you very much.
You're still a very down-to-earth fellow.
Oh, well,
All
I'm
the
trying to get
classic
off the
roll
earth,
again.
man. I'm trying. I don't do anything anymore to take me anywhere.
You're a great guy, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a good run.
All right, it's Jim Belushi, everyone. Sharon Osbourne, when we get back, it's the O&A virus spreading across America. Jim Norton.